You have questions, we have answers. This is Jane Muller.
And this is Ken Muller. Welcome to our show, all about real estate with Ken and Jane. Well, Jane, today we have as our special guest Mayor Francis Womack of North Brunswick Township and Council President Rajesh Mehta. Gentlemen, welcome to our show.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have you. Well, our show is about real estate, and we know that the value of real estate and the quality of education and township services go hand in hand. And today, we want to talk about the great things going on in North Brunswick, of which there are many. So we, again, appreciate you guys being here to participate. To start with, we want to commend you both for your public service. And Mayor Womack, you've been mayor of North Brunswick for almost 20 years, and prior to that, you were on the town council. What inspired you to run for mayor and get involved in public service?
My wife didn't. We got a water bill 25 years ago that my wife thought was too high, and so I went down to the town hall, met with some people, and that was it. After that, I kept going down and staying involved a little bit. But don't forget, I got elected in the year, at that time I'm a Democrat. At that time it was all people from the other party who were in. And we weren't supposed to win, but it was the year Al Gore ran against George Bush. And, of course, Gore didn't win nationally, but in North Brunswick he did really well. So Al Gore got me elected.
Right, not the Chads, right?
Right.
Oh, wow. And the rest is history, right? I mean, from there, that's...
It's been nice. It's like we were saying last night, Rajesh and I. We had some people come out to the council meeting last night with questions, but it's such a nice town. I mean, people, when people get involved civically, come to our meetings, stuff, it's nice. There's not a lot of yelling, screaming, things like that. It's a good people.
Good neighborhood. I mean, North Brunswick resident made the right decision 20 years ago.
Well, obviously, you're doing a few things right. You've gotten reelected multiple times, so I think the people greatly approve of your service.
You know what? Even the people like us, we don't live in North Brunswick. We're from East Brunswick. Look at Route 1, how well it become is amazing. To be honest with you, we're very jealous. You got the Costco, you got
got
all
Trader
these
Joe's.
Trader Joe's,
Yeah.
and another train station. Oh my God, you got everything. Leave something for us.
And we go to Costco all the time because we're on the border of East Brunswick and North Brunswick, so we sneak through the through from Riva that way and cut into Route 130, Route 1, Adams Station, and then pop down. You're right at the Costco, so it's very convenient.
They just put up the walls this week for the snack shack. That's going to be right by. That's the snack shack going to be in front of Panera's there by Costco.
Oh my God,
so
that's
that'll be
really
nice.
Good. Yeah, I'll be. Earlier I should talk to Rajesh, right? I said one day when we ready to sell our house, the advertising will read, blocks away from the train station.
Right.
we're gonna talk about the train station the next part
later,
2. That's later. Don't steal the thunder.
Yeah.
Right. That's a topic.
I'm so excited. That's how excited.
That's how excited we are. What about you, Rajesh? What got you into public service and running for council?
Yeah, when I was in India, I actually came from India when I was like 40-year-old, and I was involved in politics in India a little bit. Then, I saw Democratic Party doing great job in North Brunswick. I went to them. There was a lady. She was a councilwoman. I met her, and I told her I want to get involved. She put me in the committee. And, since it's like 12, 13 years ago, since then I was in the committee, but I was working. When I retired, then mayor came and spoke to me. He said, you want to be in the council. Right? It was COVID time.
Yes.
I didn't want it really. Then my wife said, why don't you do it? Same thing with wives, They
didn't want you in the house too much, right? Right.
It's too hard for every minute, okay?
That's right.
And then, I told mayor, I'm okay, if you want me to. Then, he put me there, he nominated me. And then, in the election, I won in 2021. And now we have an election due again, both of us. And since then, after I retired, I think, what we were thinking, that we don't need anything. My kids are grown up, they are married, I got grandkids. And we don't have, my wife and me, we don't have that much to do. It's good now. Every day we are busy with something. We come out of the house every day.
I know you didn't let him bring his drum into the studio, but he's like he's the Energizer Bunny from our town. He's everywhere all the time. I wish I had 1/10 of his energy.
No, not that true. But I try to go everywhere where we are supposed to go.
That's great. Yeah,
That's fantastic. Yeah. Sometimes, right, people think about it, the giving back to do the community work, the pleasure and the satisfaction you get from it is priceless. It's truly, helping others.
It's really true.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really, I like it now. We go every day. We go out. Myself, like now, today, after 12 o'clock, my wife has to go to gardening club.
Yeah.
And she told me, when you come, I will be ready, we'll drive there. That is good. It keeps you going.
Yes.
And now, when we started, we had like 10, 12 ladies in gardener club. Mm-hmm. Last week, we had a party get-together. We were 21 people.
Wow, that's great.
That's growing, and
that's
it's all due to mayor and council. They are doing great job for the town,
It's a great community.
And we ask anything from the mayor, we get it, That is the big thing,
Oh, don't push your luck, right?
It always happens.
Yeah. Yes.
So, Mayor, you've been mayor almost 20 years, and you probably have a list of things. Would you mind sharing with us some of what you think are your greatest accomplishments, other than the train station? We're going to devote another show to that.
I mean, it does not make for exciting conversation, but I mean, the accomplishment, I think, is keeping everything steady on an even keel. We don't go around saying we're never going to raise taxes, but we try to keep it a little bit at a time. Mm-hmm. Never big, huge jumps, and only when necessary. Like you're saying, protecting Route 1, trying to make sure that the development down there and down Route 130, make sure that that's done in a way that our kids and grandkids will still want to live in North Brunswick. And of course, just saying that, Route 130, Route 1, and Route 27, trying to make sure we're all a connected community. But I think also, I mean, we're really proud to be not just North Brunswick, but Middlesex County and New Jersey. And, I just don't know. I feel it. I know Rajesh feels it. But we talk about the diversity and the welcomingness of where we live. And I know every town feels that way. And they should. We really are that way. And I'm really proud of that. I mean, more than any one thing like this gym, this baseball field, I'm really that our town is really the right kind of town to live in. It's diverse.
Yes.
And we want everybody to have their place and their role, and we all do, I think. So I'm real proud of that.
That's great. Yeah, I think people respecting each other and living in a blended community where you respect different religions, different ethnicities. That's what makes America great, is having the mix of different people.
Makes New Jersey great.
Exactly. I think a lot of time, right? Obviously I'm from another country and come to here. I feel it's very important for the newcomers like myself feel not only being welcomed, but being part of it. It's a big difference. Say, when you go visit a family and friends, they're very polite, say, oh, welcome, or just grab you, give you a bear hug and say, hey, come over here. That's a different feeling. That's what I get from, our area, like North Brunswick, East Brunswick. That's how I feel when I come here. When we moved here from North Jersey, that's how I feel. I feel I'm part of the family. Do we have a difference? Yes. Do we go to the council meeting and say something? Yes. Do we call the mayor and screaming? Yes. But they all like good brother, sister fight. Yeah. It's nothing more than a family affair, right? Rather than the hatred and diversifying, dividing. This is just very important, very welcoming. And welcome home kind of thing, right? Yeah.
So right.
Yes.
So right.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to that, Council?
Yeah, same thing what Jane is keeps saying it, that, when I came to this country, I was very new, first time, and I was not that young, and I had kids with me. They had to go to school. Therefore, I could not go to school or college here. Whatever I had from India, I had it, right? But I'm so happy that I came here, and my kids are raised so good. They both have great, qualifications, great jobs, and my grandkids are growing up here, and they are very happy due to the diverse country, diverse state, diverse town. Our town is so diverse. Like we had a program last Saturday in high school. You will not believe it. High school kids did this program, and they sold 782 tickets in one day.
Wow.
And
That's
it was so full, people had to stand and watch.
Wow, that's really great.
That is called diversity. And
Yes.
everybody was there, from everybody.
That's really good. That's really great.
Absolutely. So what do you both see as some of the challenges as you move forward? Life is full of challenges, otherwise it wouldn't be life, it wouldn't be exciting. It has to be life is always changing. What do you see moving forward, some of the challenges or the goals that you want to that you're going to deal with for North Brunswick Township?
Really, I think the most important things people have is their security, their kids' education, and then property taxes is very high too.
Yeah.
And we cannot control that much. How Mayor said that we try to raise, if we have to, very little, just to keep it under control. But it's not in our hands. The school system.
Correct.
Look at this. Why people live in New Jersey is the schools.
Right.
Right? Because we are the state who spends most money on schools in this country.
And that's why New Jersey has among the top
Right.
rated schools. And I think, I don't know the exact percentage, but a majority of the property taxes go for the school system.
Yep.
Maybe 66% is in East Brunswick. I don't know. In North
Right.
Brunswick, it's probably very similar, right?
62,
So like you're saying, you have very limited control of the property taxes because it's going for the useful purpose of educating the children, the future of the country.
But we do have control. And Raj isn't saying that North Brunswick's a lot more expensive than other towns, but I mean, everywhere property taxes
Yes.
are.
They're high.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
Yeah.
And so for every making New Jersey affordable
Yes.
is a real challenge. And we all talk to people. You run into them all the time, and they say, well, as soon as my kids are out of school, I'm getting out of here.
That's why they call Jane. We get a lot of those calls, and we deal with a lot of people that are retiring or going, which is, sad in a way, but that's people's.
It's not necessarily such a terrible thing because you don't have to retire here. If you want to go retire somewhere else, that's great. But that first part of that sentence, as soon as my kids are out of school, I grew up in the Carolinas and West Virginia, and I went to college in Alabama.
Right.
I really love living somewhere where people say, I ain't leaving until my kids are out of school because I know we're giving them the best education in the United
Yes.
States
You
of
take it
America right here.
as a
That's
compliment.
important. Yeah, I take it as a compliment because as far as I'm concerned, it's a great place
It
to
is.
live. But we're between New York and Philadelphia. I mean, we are in a fast pace area. We are where everything happens, we're in an exciting place.
Absolutely.
And if you want to retire somewhere else after your kids are out of school,
That's a
God
good
bless ya.
problem. That's a
God
good
bless ya.
problem
Good
to
problem to
have.
have. At least- at least-
Exactly right.
We know we're doing our job.
But for the future, for people, as long as you're here, we got to try to make it affordable.
Yes.
We got to try to make sure we got top-notch programs. And it's like you say, though. I mean, here we're sitting in a studio close to Rutgers, at Princeton,
One of the
premier
top-
university in the world, is just down the street. Middlesex County College, giving great education for our local students. I mean, Jesus. I mean, it's a great place
What
to
more
live.
can be said?
Yeah, right.
All right, why don't we take a short break, and we'll be right back after these messages. Okay, welcome back to our show. We're joined today with Mayor Womack of North Brunswick Township and Council President Rajesh Mehta. So, gentlemen, let's talk about what's hot in the council. What's going on? You guys meet on a regular basis? What's on the agenda for things to get done in North Brunswick Township?
Well, the big thing that we have to deal with day after day, and that we'll both be dealing with when we leave here, is our municipal building, which wasn't that old. Hurricane Ida just wiped us out. There's a video on our town webpage
Right.
of a police officer in the basement when all the doors crash in. It's like being on the Titanic. All the doors crashed in. Our entire building was flooded, and it got molded, and we're having to do a tremendous amount of work. That's what we're spending a lot of our time on, because we're trying to make sure we get as much back from insurance and from FEMA so that it doesn't hit the taxpayers. So you asked, that's day-to-day what the mayor and council are dealing with
Sure.
more than anything else. But on the other issues, the things that we're trying to get done is we're working on getting a new park. We have a park, Babbage Park, which is in the part of our town over closer to New Brunswick, off Route 27, between Route 27 and Route 1. That's our last major park that we haven't really been able to completely renovate over the last several years. That's a big project we have coming up, because we want to see that park made good for everybody who lives over on that side of town. They really should have a really park at the same level as everything else we have. So that's a long-term project we've got going that we're working on a lot. Of course, like every place else, we're spending a lot of time looking at police, at law enforcement, making sure that our police department is, and we're very proud of them, and that they're following all the very best practices, that they are there's the police certifications that we have all the top-notch ones, and that we continue to hire so that, which isn't always easy, but that we continue to hire the police so that they reflect our diverse community. And so as Rajesh was saying, safety is such a big concern.
And also public relations, making sure the police are connected with the community so they understand the different diverse nature of the community, and that's why you want to hire, diversification whenever possible.
Exactly
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Because they give a bunch of traffic tickets down Route 1, Route 130.
Yeah.
And we've got to make sure
But
that
it's pretty hard to speed on Route 1 where there's a lot of lights, and
Yeah, that's true.
But I guess they
people manage.
people manage. Yeah. Anything you want to add to that, Councilman? From the
Mayor was just talking about the police. I tell you, I am so proud of the police department in our town. Never have problem. I never heard any complaint against any policeman. We have 99 policemen in our town, and never any complaint. And you tell them something, they will make sure that it is done. That is the best thing.
We do. I mean, we do get police complaints, but I mean, it's like everything else. People need to understand that if you have a problem with a North Brunswick police officer, pick up the phone and call the police chief or the mayor or the council president, and we'll make sure it's properly looked into. People have to understand that we want everything to run right for every incident.
Right, and police have such a difficult job, a challenging job, especially in this day and age, because they have to do their job, but they can't overstep their bounds, and it's just so many things they have to be cognizant of that it's really, really challenging to be a police officer.
Everybody,
God bless them.
In our society, everybody walking on eggshells, from the first day kids enter schools, and we all have to think about security from that moment forward. And thank God we've got synagogues, we've got temples, we've got mosques. We're in Central Jersey, and
Sure,
we have to make sure that everybody can go about every life function with full confidence that they're safe, secure, and don't feel oppressed about getting up and going to church.
Yeah, and
shouldn't be a big burden to get up and go to school. We got to be able to make sure that that's the background in our lives.
Yes. as a backdrop
The
of our
backdrop,
lives.
that's right. Where you live, you want to be comfortable in your
Right.
environment, and that means going freely shopping and to the
Right.
school and to your house of worship, and not have to feel any oppression or
Exactly.
or scared or any,
Safety is the number
Safe-
one thing in
yeah.
anything. If you don't feel safe, what education can help you? What health can help you? Safety is very important.
And
Yeah.
we gotta make people safe without feeling like it's in their faces all the time.
Yes,
Yeah, you don't want them to think there's right. They exactly in
That's
in
the fun
backdrop.
balance. Yes,
Absolutely. So, what advice would you have for citizens that are listening in Central Jersey and especially in North Brunswick if they want to get more involved in the community events? What would be a good thing? Obviously, show up to the council meetings, and that's. But what else could they do? Can they do that's open for volunteering and things?
Yeah, I think, we should all get involved. Like I got involved like 12, 13 years ago, and it is good to get involved. You can have your say, what you want. You can go to the meetings, you talk to the mayor, you can talk to the council, you can talk to anybody you want to, just to get your work done. If you don't go to meetings, you stay home, and your voice is not being heard because you're not saying anything. Until you say anything, nobody can hear you. Same thing like, I tell you one thing about these, is different question, but when I was in just committee person, right, I saw how much progress our town did in parks and other things, like community park, veterans park, and tennis courts. It all came in last 10 to 12 years. We never had that things in our town. How much this council and this mayor did. I was not in the council, but I know that how much they worked hard to get it done for the people.
And that can't be easy because that requires funding at the municipal level, and then you have to balance out and not raise taxes. Yet people want the services, so that's got to be a constant battle because people expect the amenities and the great services, the parks, the recreation facilities, but they want the taxes low, which is something has to. So the mayor. Deserves a big hand for getting that done.
Look at our middle school. It is, I am telling you,
New school.
beautiful. I never seen any middle school like that in New Jersey. I go from.
But people like Rajesh says. I mean, we talk about home rule in New Jersey, and people are like, well, we save money if we consolidate. And we could save some money, but who. Well, like I was saying, when I was growing up in West Virginia and never been to New Jersey or New York or any, who would have thought you could come to New Jersey, the most populated state in terms of density in the country, and really live in a small town where you can pick up the phone, call the mayor or the council president, my secretary, just call them, call any of your councilmen, call the. Who thought that in the most densely populated state but it is, and people really got to appreciate that. You can move to states where the school board is countywide. There's something to be said about that. Or you can move to where the cities, it's a bigger city, but it's not quite as densely populated. You don't get the same level of home service as you do right here. People got to take advantage of that, and you got a problem, just pick up the phone and call us.
That's great.
We're the beneficiary.
Janice is great. She even responded to one of my emails on a weekend. When I was trying to arrange the interview with you, and I was like, wow, I got an email from her on a Sunday. I was like,
even back a few months ago, we had some issues there, right? We need help, and we contact the mayor office. That was very fast.
Yeah, a family got displaced, unfortunately, because of a fire, and your office went above and beyond to getting the inspection done for their relocation home.
1 day.
Because of the circumstances. It was phenomenal. That's why we thank your administration and Janice and the inspectors. I think
Janice that was the mayor's assistant. And I don't know how many towns are like this, but I assume a lot of them.
I tell you,
that's who runs the town. Is the good career people that work for. The mayor. We're all part timers. Those people who are in the building every day running it. Yeah. We are damn lucky at the quality of people we have.
That's awesome.
I tell you, when it happened, I saw her comments in our town, and I called her right away. I said,
that's right. Yeah.
I called her that day. and she appreciated so much.
Yeah, that was so great. Well, we're almost out of time, but we want to thank you both so much for being our guests today. And thanks again. We'll see everyone next week.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.
Thank you.